What's up, guys? Welcome to Cinco Symposium. I'm a little late on it, but we're going to go ahead and do a quick review of Rings of Power, Episode 7. Spoilers alert. We're going over everything. The main spoiler alert is that it's not that good, as most of the series has been. It's been subpar, been boring, been dry. But anyways, let's get into it. Before we do that, please hit that like button, share, subscribe. Now, let's go. Alright, so after last episode, Mount Doom explodes. The insane ash cloud that's burning everything goes through, and Galadriel just sits in it, and now she wakes up in it, and literally everything... so first of all, everyone's dead, right? Everyone's dead. No one's surviving that. And everything's covered in ash. Either you're on fire, you're melted... that would be the main cause of death, but even not, if not that, all this ash everywhere, you're suffocating. You're not breathing. Look at all the ash that's just caked everywhere. That's in your lungs. You ain't living from that, but, whatever. It's Rings of Power. It's Galadriel. That guy's dead. The table's on fire, but she's fine. And then, so, there's just, the main characters, they're all alive, so that's good. Got that plot on her. And then we got Isildur that ends up in a building and pushes the queen out. Well, I don't even know. I don't know what made her fall back here, but some type of a little force. She falls back. Isildur's inside. There he is. And then the building crushes him. And guess what? You're dead from that. I don't know how anyone survives that, but as we all know the story, Isildur's not dead, so don't worry. Don't fret your little heart about it too much. Then we're on to the Harfoots, which no one likes. Nobody enjoys the Harfoot story, and it seems like their orchard, which is maybe 5 trees, because there's other trees around, but I guess those aren't the good trees. Those aren't the trees with the apples. Their few trees got hit by the volcanic explosion. Some rocks coming out, and so they're upset about that. They're angry. Or confused. Then they're like, oh, maybe we can get the big guy who we battled with the idea that he's either good or bad, but he's helped us out, but now we're going to ask him to help again. And so then he's going to start casting some magic on a tree, trying to make it come back alive. And then something starts happening. It starts cracking. The apple's shaking. Oh my goodness, what is going on? And then the stupid little Harfoot has to start going forward. Sorry, I messed up. He's casting magic, just let him alone. Let the thing happen. But no, we got to be an idiot and we got to walk at this tree that's dead, cracked, and shaking. Oh, he's doing it. Oh, look at that. And then, a branch breaks off. We would have thought that. Oh, and then I'm going to dive into where the tree falls. But don't worry, they're okay. And then now we're going to be mad at homeless Gandalf because he was casting magic on a tree and it fell. Which they were all standing clear of until the stupid little hobbit got underneath it. And then there's the dwarves, Durin and Elrond asking to get more mithril, and Papa Dwarf says, no, we're not going to do that. We're not going too deep. Then there's a little exchange between, I can't remember what her name is, and Durin, and how they need to go get it, even if his dad says no. He's like, what can I do? My father, he's the king. And then Then all of a sudden the mithril next to the leaf is bringing it back to life. So, okay, mithril now has the property that brings it back to life. And then they're like, oh, we gotta go with Elrond. Screw what your dad says.
Positional reinforcement.
Oh, there's more of this ash. They're trying to get out. A lot of boring dialogue. Nothing's happening. There's the queen and her guys, and they discover that she's blind now.
The people there can help you find your stars.
And now the Harfoots are kicking big guy out, or homeless Gandalf out, because they don't want to deal with him anymore. He's dangerous. He cast some magic, and it almost squished one of our little guys that got right under the tree. So they're trying to get rid of him. She gives him apple. You have another exchange between Galadriel and this little kid that's just annoying and useless. Then Elrond and Durin are digging, and they crack a hole into a wall, and they find a huge cavern of Mithril. Awesome. And then Durin walks it. Papa Dwarf walks in and gets upset, kicks him out. And there's an exchange between Durin and Dad, and like I said, all pretty dry, all pretty boring. Nothing happens. Then we get back to the Harfoots, and then turns out that the magic worked. They got the fruit coming in now, and everyone's happy. And then Fat Hobbit notices a big footprint, which it's these three that we've kind of glimpsed before that you don't know. It's like I don't know, they look like the alphabet soup of the Lord of the Rings world. And they're there. And then there they are walking through the orchard, and they see, oh my gosh, there's... I don't know if they notice that Gandalf's doing something or not, but... And then they decide to... They encounter the Harfoots, and then they take the fire, and then they just explode everything of all their little wagons and fruit. Oh no, it's sad. Darn it. Then we get the encampment. This is the encampment of the Númenóreans. This is where like they're getting out. They've out of the ash, and I don't know what this is. Where it's like a cloth wall that they put around their encampment, and I don't know the point of that. I don't understand the point of like because as a defensive measure, that is nothing. I mean, if it's cloth, which seems like it is. You know, you can just cut through it, and then they got their moob armor, their man boobs sticking out everywhere. Elendil's upset. He believes that Isildur's dead. And he's distraught. There's another picture of that encampment that, for whatever reason, has these cloth walls that acts like it's really going to do something. Seems like it's more of a hassle to put up than like anything that it's worth. Turns out he finds his mom. She's not dead. You can't kill this woman. She's, what's her name? Bronwyn. She's unkillable. Brave and beautiful, stunning. And here's Isildur with the queen. They're talking. Turns out Isildur doesn't like the elves anymore. This is Isildur who was a Númenórean, a part of the Faithful, where the Númenóreans were split between the Kingsmen and the Faithful. The Faithful still believed in the elves and everything they did. The Kingsmen were all like against the elves, but as like they've jacked that story up, they've jacked everything up in Lord of the Rings. But now Isildur, who was faithful his whole life, was always a supporter of the elves, and the idea that he's a military commander for the Númenóreans. They go, hey, we're coming into battle. They bring, their cavalry over here to fight against Sauron's forces, and he's, like I said, he's a military leader. His son's in there. Turns out the battle, Mount Doom exploded, but his son, he believes, is dead. And like he is flipped on everything that he believed in, everything that he was about was fighting against Sauron or helping the elves out. Now he's upset. Now he's mad at the elf. He's mad at Galadriel, and it's just like he didn't expect, I guess, his son to ever die, and that's all it took. His son dying, and then everything he believes in gone. I'm gonna be really pissed off, and we should have never came here. And it just doesn't make sense. It's just like every character flip-flops in this storyline. Where the queen didn't want to help the elves, but then she didn't want to help the elves, but then, okay, I'm going to help the elves. And then Isildur was, oh, well, we got to help the elves because they're good. And now we don't need to help the elves. Let's leave this land. And he's upset. So it's just like, it's so hard to be... to like anyone, honestly, except like the orcs are like, you like looking at the orcs because every time you get that's the one thing I think they did good on this show was the orcs look great. The orcs look great, and the voices are fantastic for the orcs. So I think that's like the best part, and that's what you end up rooting for.
Will return.
But so Númenor is gonna return and help fight against Sauron, and then Isildur is really upset about that. Elendil is really upset. And you're just, it's just so hard to care about it. But like I said, all the characters flip flop.
Slay dragons.
And then we get this whole speech from the Harfoot. It goes back to him, and they're all distraught about their camp being jacked up. And then you get Papa Hobbit.
But there's one thing we can.
there's one thing we can do. I want you to listen to this speech. And I want you to remember, this is the guy that the Harfoots, he got injured. He got injured, and then the Harfoot said, fuck this guy, we're leaving him and his family behind to die. Let's see what he has to say.
Do I want better than any creature in all Middle-earth? We stay true to each other.
We stay true to each other. Asshole, do you not remember that they left you and your family to die? Like, you don't remember that? But there's one thing I do know about Harfoot, is we stay true to each other. No, you don't. You don't at all. Like, it's kind of insane how much you don't. And there we go, like another flip-flop part of the storyline where like they do one thing and then they say another and they do another thing.
Now.
And now they're gonna go try to find and help Gandalf, and then go back to the Numenorian camp, and then there's Halbrand. He's got a huge slice in his gut, but somehow he's like perfectly fine to get up, walk around, and get on a horse, and everyone's like, oh, praise the king of the Southlands, and everyone just accepts it. And you're just, I don't know, you're just like, how does anybody know he's a king? Who knows he's a king? Who knows his name? And then you get another little talk with the dwarves. And then there's Andar again. Oh, also, I kind of skipped it in here. The Papa Dwarf dropped the leaf inside the cave and says, you know, to clog it up. And then there's the leaf falls through the cavern and lands down there and wakes up. Oh, Balrog. Okay. That's the leaf that wakes up the Balrog. Cool. Like, alright, that's how you're gonna do it, as a freaking leaf falls down there. I don't know. It's just, I don't care. I don't care about this show anymore. I'm honestly only watching it so I can talk about it with you guys. But it's terrible. I don't enjoy it. Like I said, every character, they have like one attitude one episode, then the next episode, it's the exact opposite. Every single one of them. The Queen, Galadriel, or Galadriel did it in the middle episode where she was like, I'm going to, you know, she's supposed to be this good character, but she was going to torture Andar, or Adar, whatever his name is, the bad elf, and keep him alive so he can watch as she slaughters his children, but then immediately was about to kill him until Halbrand stops her. The Harfoots flip-flopping, oh, we stay true to each other, but the episodes before we were leaving our people to die. And Elendil, who's a military commander, is about helping the elves, and then we go, oh, we're going to go get into a battle and fight Sauron. Oh, my son dies. I'm immediately upset. We'll never come back here again. It's just, the writing is terrible, and it's hard to get into this. Like, and I can't get into it. Like I said, the only reason I'm watching this is for you guys, so y'all owe me for this one. You owe me a freaking like on this video. But yeah, that's episode 7. Really, honestly, nothing happens. A lot of boring dialogue, a lot of stupidity. And then the next one's a finale, which we'll get into that in just a little bit. But there's episode 7. Really dumb. I don't like it. I don't like the show. But there it is. Until the next one, y'all have a absolute wonderful day.